If you're looking for more horror outside of the mainstream, look no further than Unsung Horrors, a podcast about underseen horror movies. I'm Lance.
And I'm Erica. Every other week, we'll cover a horror movie with fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. We'll even give you double feature recommendations to pair with the movies we discuss.
From gothic to shot on video, from slashers to comedies, from giallo to J-horror. We'll cover all the subgenres. So join us as we unearth these hidden gems of horror.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Unsung Horrors, available wherever you listen to podcasts. And part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello, filthy movie lovers. My name is Gentry Austin.
And I'm Casey Scott.
And we're the hosts of the Sin Syndicate, film podcast for something weirdos, anti-criterion bros, and Joseph Sarno aficionados. Join us semi-weekly as we peer into the adults-only theaters and sticky-floored cinemas of the golden age of sexploitation, when the morals were loose, the laws were murky, and the intercourse was all simulated. Find us now on the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
To the Kulturecast. I'm Chris Stachiw, and I'm joined by my co-host, Sean Stachiw.
Sean Liang Stachiw.
This is one wacky movie.
Yeah, it is.
This is one wacky movie. We're going to be talking about Adaptation today from 2002. It is a Spike Jonze directed, Charlie Kaufman written film, so you know you're in for a good time, with Charlie Kaufman and his brother, Donald Kaufman.
Oh.
Wink, wink, nod, nod. Who is given a screenplay credit in the film?
That's amazing.
Yeah, Sean. Before we talk about Nick Cage and Adaptation, have you been watching anything this week?
Oh man, nothing new other than Big Brother, which it was a crazy weekend. So
I don't even want to know why you're watching Big Brother.
I've gotten so into it, man. I never thought I would, but after last year, yeah, I got hooked.
I don't know why you're into it either.
So.
I have given reality TV is such.
It is. It's so trashy, but I love it.
It's beyond trashy. I'm not like saying anything off color, am I?
No, I totally agree with what you're saying, and I always believe that. But I find it so entertaining. I think there's art in it. I think there's art in manipulating life. I think it might be morally questionable most of the time, but.
I mean, it's like when people say smearing feces on canvas is art. It's, I mean, you're not wrong. Probably in some light, it is art.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're talking in a way that I would say is intellectually stimulating.
No, not at all.
Intellectually stimulating and reality TV don't go hand in hand.
No, not at all. Well, and I'm not talking like the thing is I like competition reality shows or like cooking reality. I don't watch like Keeping Up with the Kardashians or like Jersey Shore, but I love competition shows or like I don't know. That's the kind of stuff I like cooking shows sometimes. But I love Big Brother because I like seeing people. It's almost like watching sports sometimes, but it's like. Social sports. It's like watching people interact with each other, and I'm very interested about that. And I just kind of think it's fun to watch these social experiments kind of unfold. That's what I love about reality, quote unquote reality TV.
I like that quote unquote.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's the fun part for me. And I think there is art in the way that they're edited together. I think that is those editors, I don't think they get enough light on their names, but it's pretty much I love them for what they do, and I die for it every time I watch it.
I don't like reality TV. And I think reality TV has kind of gone away a little bit, hasn't it?
It's definitely morphed into something that is not what it used to be.
Yeah. Which I'm okay with.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make it any more or less.
I mean, American Idol is gone, so that's like one of the big ones, right?
Yeah, that's right. That just ended. And there's still always going to be those shows around, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but I'm glad that one of the ones that I really don't like is gone.
Yeah, that one definitely wore out its welcome, I think.
That show had like worn out its welcome after like...
I was done after the third season, and it was around for like...
Yeah, like that's what it was around for way too long. So what have I been watching? You know, nothing really. I still haven't gotten around to watching Stranger Things.
Yeah, I love that show.
I haven't taken the plunge yet. So
that's fair. Got to get yourself ready.
I want to watch it. It's just I haven't found the time. I've been watching all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah, that's understandable. I understand.
Bob Ross, man.
Bob Ross.
I love me some Bob Ross. I can just like put Bob Ross on in the background and like have it on, and it's just like it's good enough.
Yeah.
So
it's good enough.
It's good enough. I mean, it doesn't really necessitate a lot of my attention. I don't have to sit and like stare at it and make sure I'm following along.
Right, absolutely. I do that all the time.
That's kind of it for me, though. I think we should talk about Adaptation because I feel like we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, this one's got a lot.
The film came out in 2002. Like I mentioned, it's a Spike Jonze directed, Charlie Kaufman and Donald Kaufman written script. It stars Nick Cage, Tilda Swinton, Meryl Streep, Chris Cooper, and that's kind of everybody.
Yeah.
There's like some cameos, some like really strange cameos, like Catherine Keener, John Cusack.
That's right.
But a lovelorn screenwriter becomes desperate as he tries and fails to adapt The Orchid Thief by Susan Orlean for the big screen.
She's disappointed. I could see it in her eyes when we met. I've got to stop sweating. Oh, she looked at my hairline. She thinks I'm bald. She's thinking I would never in a million years sleep with this guy.
We think you're great.
Oh, thanks. Wow, that's nice to hear. To begin, coffee would help me think. Coffee and a muffin. I'm going up to Santa Barbara this Saturday, and I was wondering...
Oh.
I'm sorry.
So I'll just be right back with your pie then.
Drum roll, please. I'm gonna be a screenwriter, like you.
I'm putting in a chase sequence. So the killer flees on horseback, cops after them on a motorcycle. And it's like a battle between motors and horses. Like technology versus horse.
Susan, we would really like to option this. You want to make it into a movie? I want to know what it feels like to care about something passionately. John LaRoche is a tall guy, sharply handsome.
The book has no story. There's no story. Make one up. Okay, we open with LaRoche. No, we open at the beginning of time. Okay, we open with LaRoche. Crazy white man. We open on Charlie Kaufman. Fat, bald, ugly, paces. I've written myself into my screenplay. That's kind of weird, huh?
I guess we thought that maybe Susan and LaRoche could fall in love.
I just don't want to ruin it by making it a Hollywood thing. It's like I don't want to cram in sex or guns or car chases or characters overcoming obstacles to succeed in the end. She's crying. What's she hiding from us? I think you actually need to speak to this woman to know her.
People find love, people lose it. Every day, someone somewhere takes a conscious decision to destroy someone else.
This is our last dance. This is our last dance.
Who's gonna play me?
Oh, I'd like
I think I should play me.
Under pressure. Under pressure.
Sean, neither one of us had seen this before.
No.
What is your thoughts on the film?
So it's funny because I remember seeing this poster on, the shelf when I was a kid. So, or, not a kid, but when I was in Blockbuster, and I always, I never was interested in seeing this movie, even though Meryl Streep was in it. I didn't know that. So I love everything Meryl Streep does. That's a disclaimer. But I found myself, it took me a while, I'll be honest, it took me a while to get into this movie. But when I did, it's also because I'm an actor, in this industry, and I very much relate to him, to the story as an artist. And I thought it was just so, I don't know, maybe I just really, really liked this movie. It really moved me personally. I don't think it was the best movie I've ever seen for sure. I definitely can see why this would be another Oscar movie for Nick Cage and for, as a whole. It feels like I really like the story. It's a really complex story with at least several layers. I don't know. I just really liked it. It was a feel-good movie for me, even though I think it did take a very weird twist halfway through and then it became a completely different type of movie. I still really, really enjoyed what was trying to be said in this movie, and I liked it. I just really enjoyed watching it.
I wanted to like this movie, but something about it just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm interested.
And I think it's probably Nick Cage's performance.
Okay, I'm interested to talk about that for sure.
Because to me, it wasn't. It's not that it wasn't good. It just had the choice to have him and then him and himself, if that makes sense. Charlie Kaufman and Donald Kaufman as two separate characters, two sides of the same character. Having that choice,
both played by Nicolas Cage.
Right. It wasn't enough for me.
Yeah. I liked the choice. I just don't. I think that it's funny because I felt like this was a movie where Nicolas Cage was miscast. I feel like he did a bad job at it. I mean, I don't know. I felt like a lot of what I had trouble with is keeping up with the difference between the brothers, and that was important, and it became important. I realized how important it was towards the end, but It's a specific choice that they made for it to be played by the same person, but I feel like they didn't take care of us and letting us know the difference between them enough, or like it didn't come across as two different people very well. And I think that there's sort of a poetry to that because that's kind of what they talk about, but it was sort of, when you say it rubs me the wrong way, I totally get that. You know what I mean?
And I really wanted to like this movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to like this movie. I'd heard so many good things about this movie. And to me, it just fell kind of flat.
Yeah.
And I don't blame Nicolas Cage. I really don't. I don't think that he is the reason I didn't enjoy this movie.
Yeah. See, I really enjoy. I think it was. I agree. I think that it is sort of. It feels flat, but I think it's different kind of flat than like 8mm was, because 8mm to me was flat as water. But with Adaptation, I think there's so much. I think in the poetry of what's going on in the story, I don't know.
And I normally like meta films.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, this film has a lot of like meta.
Yeah, concepts and stuff.
Yeah. Like all the movies being written while we're watching it, and are we watching the movie or are we watching...
Exactly.
I normally really like those kinds of movies. But this movie, I felt like it was too clever for its own good.
Yeah, it might have been, you know? But I think the problem did lie with Nicolas Cage, and I hate saying that, but the whole time I kept wondering if I would have clicked in better if it was a different actor who I felt sort of not understood, but at least could sort of, that just fit better to me. You know what I mean? Because I felt like this is a very cerebral. It kind of reminds me of I wouldn't say Stranger Than Fiction, but it's a very cerebral sort of. For the character, it's a character study, and it's like a perfect chance for an actor to really, stretch their arms and legs, and I kind of wanted.
I think it's more of Charlie Kaufman as a writer stretching his legs rather than the actors.
Yeah,
Meryl Streep, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think she really did a whole lot in this movie.
She didn't. I agree.
And she won the Oscar.
Yeah, yeah.
And that to me, man, that's a little strange.
See, yeah.
She didn't do a whole lot.
She didn't. I think that her character was important, though. I mean, of course it was. I just think that, like, the thing is that even though she wasn't given much to do, when she did, I understood that person, and I got that person in such a rich way that I didn't even get with Nicolas Cage, either of the characters. Like, and we spent the whole movie with him. You know what I mean? Sort of. And I get, to me as an actor, I I love what she does always, and it's because of that depth that she reaches in even with just a little bit of dialogue, and the way she writes the book, even the voiceover that they laugh at, that they joke about. I just love it. I think I get the character, I get the story from her. Like it's so much more dramatic because I understand it with her, but I feel like a lot of that is lost with Nick Cage and his environment. And I keep saying Nick Cage, but I really mean the characters. Like it's just because I don't think it was his fault.
I'm also not fans of films that think that they're being cleverer than they actually are.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie is trying to be clever, right?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
But it's not that clever.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Charlie Kaufman. I really enjoyed Anomalisa, which we watched earlier this year.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. I think it's a tad on the overrated side.
Yeah.
But his script is good. I really like Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. That's a really interesting character study.
See, that's the one I haven't seen. But see, I think he does things like the character studies so well because he kind of like hyper focus in. It's like what Meryl Streep's character says. You whittle it down. You whittle it down to like a very hyper-focused human experience. And in this case, it's about connection. It's about leaving your boundaries to kind of grow with and that's so very relatable and human and understandable. And I see that very well and easily with those scenes with Meryl Streep and LaRoche. Those scenes are so beautiful because they don't say much, but I get I get it. I get the story and it hits right in the heart. But I feel like that I think he does that really well. And I think that's what I like about this movie. So as soon as you said Anomalisa, I was like, yes, that makes so much sense. It's that hyper focus of a human experience, like where everyone has the same voice.
Right. And again, I feel like this movie is trying to do something interesting.
Yeah.
But ultimately, for me, it gets too tied up in...
For its own good.
Yeah, it gets too tied up in trying to do something interesting.
Sure.
That it ends up not doing anything interesting at all.
Yeah, or it kind of leaves us hanging a little bit. Yeah, I totally get that.
And, I mean, the whole movie is Nick Cage trying to adapt The Orchid Thief into a live-action film because he's a screenwriter. And so he talks about how he doesn't want it to be and end up being a Hollywood action movie.
Yeah.
And he ends up making it into a Hollywood action movie.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just, I get what they were going for, but it's just not.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's funny because now I'm looking at it in that regard and that totally makes sense. Like, I think what he did, and I think you're right. I think this movie does something where it commits so hard to its concept, its idea, and its own story that that the story itself isn't strong enough. And I think that I agree. I think that but that's kind of what I love about it. I love that it does that. It shows, it sticks hardcore to these rules and these tropes of this idea, just so that we can sort of explore, where we have these boundaries, where we have these expectations, and then break them. I kind of like that, but it doesn't leave for a very good movie overall. I agree, because it does that shift at the end. You're right; it is so weird.
And you mentioned this movie isn't Nick Cage's fault, and it isn't. But his performance doesn't mesh well with anyone else's performances.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
And we've seen Nick Cage doing serious roles really well before.
Yeah.
It's not like he can't.
Yeah. I think it was weird watching him act with himself. It wasn't that it was bad. It was just weird. And I feel like that's what made it... to me, that's what it felt like. That made him so... Was that weird to you at all?
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Nick Cage anyway.
Yeah.
So him acting against himself isn't something that I would really want to see to begin with. That being said, though, he did that better than a lot of other actors I've seen have similar...
Yeah. He did it better than I expected him to do it, Yeah. When I realized that was a thing, because at first, like I said at the beginning of the movie, I totally thought it was supposed to be the same person. And I think that's part of the point, but I definitely had difficulty differentiating the two characters, and sometimes I think that was on purpose, and sometimes I don't. But I think that's where it gets muddy. You know what I mean?
I normally think that Charlie Kaufman is a very talented writer, but I feel like with this movie he loses his way.
Yeah.
And that's a really big disappointment because him losing his way makes for a film that I would say they put a lot of faith in him and his writing in this film.
Yeah.
And they are failed by his writing. His writing for me, like I said, it focuses more on talking about the character of himself, Charlie Kaufman, than it does actually telling the story.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I feel like that's kind of the point of the movie to me. I feel like that, and he kind of talks about that even in the movie, like within the movies, like, I want to make a movie where nothing happens. And like, that is kind of what happens in this movie. Nothing really, I mean, things happen, but overall characters, do they really change? Like, that's what he's looking for. Is there a point to anything? And
no, there's not. Right. He makes that pretty fucking clear in this movie.
Exactly. But I do love the scene where he talks to McKean, the writer, and I just love that. I think that to me, and it's a little cheesy. It's actually very cheesy. But I kind of love that. I love that it's about it's about exploring and making sense of these profound human decisions that we make every day, or all the time at least throughout our lives, that we sort of define, that we use to define ourselves. And it asks those questions that are kind of scary for us. And that's kind of what I love about it. Like, why do we make the decisions we make? Is it to fulfill this idea of ourselves, or is it, or do the decisions we make define who we are? I kind of love that. Like, there's that moment where we weren't sure if Meryl Streep was going to go with LaRoche to find the ghost Orchid, or if she was going to leave. You know what I mean? And I kind of love that because nothing happens, but we do get to see the journey anyway. And I like being able to relate to those moments. That's kind of what I love about this. And I agree that if you look at the movie as a movie, it's weird, it's lumpy, and it doesn't really have a satisfying resolution. There is no satisfying resolution in this movie. It doesn't, but I think that's kind of, to me, I think that's the point. I like it, but I don't know. I like that. I like that's how it is. Like that's the way it is. I'm not going to run and watch this movie again because it's not like that kind of movie, but I did like it.
I wanted to like it. I really did, Sean.
I know, I'm trying to defend this one, but
and it is a critically acclaimed film.
Yeah.
So do not feel like you are having to defend it on your own.
Right.
I mean, Chris Cooper and Meryl Streep both won Oscars for the film.
Okay, yeah.
So you're not really defending a movie. I guess I have a contrarian opinion because, I don't know, just something about this movie, and not even something, this movie rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, that's fair.
It just did. And I, as a fellow writer, I can understand and sympathize with the character of Charlie Kaufman in the film, but it's trying to go for realism, but it fails in that respect. Yeah. And instead of it being realistic, it just comes off as cartoonish.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, I can see that. I get that. I totally get that. I kind of find that poetic, though.
What, that life is cartoonish?
No, well, I mean, within the movie, I mean, they explore those exact themes and they say those exact things, and it's kind of, I mean, it's not even ironic. It's just, it is what it is. But I think it's consistent, kind of. You know what I mean? It makes sense.
No, I know. It's just, for me, I have seen other movies that do what this movie is trying to do better.
That's totally legit.
Anomalisa talks about the exact same things that this movie talks about.
Yeah.
And that movie is a better movie.
Totally. Yeah, well, that makes sense. It was made, it totally makes sense. It definitely feels like a Charlie Kaufman. He's got that style,
Oh, yeah. No, it's a really, it's a very interesting style.
Yeah.
When you watch a Charlie Kaufman film, you understand it's a Charlie Kaufman film.
Yes, exactly.
But just this movie, not what I wanted. I don't even think it's not what I wanted it to be. This movie just doesn't do, I don't know how to describe it. I did not believe that Nick Cage was this tortured soul. And frankly, when Nick Cage was portraying the tortured soul, it just wasn't very good.
Yeah. I'll get that's. I agree. There were definitely.
It's like when you have the character of Donald on screen, you have the character of Charlie on screen. They're such polar opposites that neither one of their performances work very well against one another.
Yeah,
and they exist in the same space until the last 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's the thing.
And I'm sure I'm going to take flack for not liking this movie, But honestly, it is one of those movies that I really wanted to like.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you in that, like, they are polar opposites, but I feel like they should have been easy to differentiate, especially, like, that's sort of how it's designed, right? Usually when you have an actor playing two different parts, they're very easy to differentiate, either whether they do that with clothing or with like personality. It's usually very obvious. And this one, it really wasn't. So I give you that. Like, it was, and that's kind of why the whole time I kept thinking, I wonder what it would be like if like Tom Cruise played this. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know, Brad Pitt. It's just someone who was like this typical like movie star who we get to sort of see what it's like to be in that sort of psyche. You know what I mean? All the time. And like, right. I don't feel like. I agree. It was kind of weird seeing Nicolas Cage do this because you kind of course, you throw him. They're basically talking sort of about his career at the beginning of the movie. He's like, I don't want to do action movies. I don't want to throw in this like this unnecessarily violence or this and that. I want it to be about this. I want it to be real. And I thought that was kind of interesting, the casting and that choice. But I just kept wondering. So I get that. I get the friction with Nicolas Cage in this role, definitely.
Yeah. And it is too bad because I see and understand why people enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
But I just could not get behind it.
Yeah.
So.
Totally fair.
And it's too bad because I really wanted to enjoy this movie and I couldn't.
Yeah.
And also something I want to point out, Chris Cooper in this movie looks ridiculous.
That's true. That's true.
Right? He does look a tad ridiculous.
The teeth, though, it's the best part.
It's the teeth, yeah.
I actually didn't recognize. I mean, like, it took me a while. It wasn't until I saw, like, that flashback scene that I was like, oh. But, yeah, it's so funny. I haven't seen him in a whole lot, so I wasn't too thrown off by that. But I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I think that of the films we've watched this month, this one has been the most disappointing.
Oh.
And we watched 8mm.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I've had this movie talked up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well,
by like a lot of people who are like, you know what? You don't fucking like Nick Cage? Fine. But Nick Cage is awesome in Adaptation.
I see. Well, see, I've spent my whole life avoiding this movie, and I was pleasantly surprised. So that could be why I have to.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Well, since you were so high on the movie,
yes,
skip it or watch it. Best performance.
I definitely would say watch it. I would recommend this movie. It's definitely worth a watch. I mean, Charlie Kaufman's movie, like we said, it's always very different. It's a very different kind of movie experience, which is enough. It's almost enough reason for me to see it alone, but I think it's a good movie. I love Meryl Streep. I think she does a fabulous job as always. But it's I really particularly like the subject matter. I think that spoke to me. I really like this movie personally. Best performance, I'm not going to say Meryl Streep because y'all know that's the truth, but Chris Cooper was really awesome, and for being someone that I wasn't too familiar with, I really, really liked his character, and I don't know. So I'll say Chris Cooper. I think he was pleasantly surprising for me. Yeah, I liked this movie a lot. Pulled my heartstrings.
I'm gonna say,
say it.
I'm actually gonna say watch it.
Okay.
I'm going to say watch it because I feel like for me, this movie is so polarizing that I feel like someone else might have a very different reaction to it that comes from the same background that I do.
Yeah.
So I would say watch it. As much as I did not enjoy it, I do see the value in it. It's not like Suicide Squad or Ghostbusters 2016 where I'm like, your time would be better spent doing something else. Right. I feel like this movie is very polarizing.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely a thinker.
I would say watch it. Sure. Best performance probably Chris Cooper.
Yeah.
But then again, Chris Cooper is so good all the time anyways. So it's not surprising, if that makes sense. Right. It's not surprising that Chris Cooper gave a fantastic performance and that he won an Oscar for it. So I really like Chris Cooper in pretty much everything I've seen him in. So what do you think the film has on Rotten Tomatoes?
I will say like a 78.
91%.
Oh, damn.
Dizzyingly original, the loopy, multi-layered adaptation is both funny and thought-provoking.
Yeah, definitely thinker.
Yeah, it even knows it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's telling us it is. It's oh my god. Yeah, that's
so
fair.
Yeah. again, I know that I'm in the minority here. So before I talk about next week's Nicolas Cage films, can you finally talk about what you're working on, Sean?
Not yet. It might be a little while.
The struggle goes on.
I know. I'm just hoping to God I get that.
Someday you'll tell me.
Exactly. I'll tell you. I can tell you. But yeah, no, Ghost and stuff is still coming out, so check that out. I really hope that we get to do more of that, and we already are working on some new stuff. At least they are. So check it out. Subscribe to Ghost and stuff so that I can be in it some more, please. And check it out on my Facebook. As always, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm Shonifer, and my Facebook is Sean Liang.
You can follow me on Twitter at Kulturestash. I am also on Twitch now if you want to see me playing video games, because that's a thing that people like watching. So that is a thing you can do. Twitch.tv/Papa_Stash, STCH. Also, you can head to cultureshock.com to read movie reviews, video game reviews, and check out the Kulturecast. We are also on Stitcher and iTunes, and if you give us a favorable review on iTunes, it'll help other movie lovers find the Kulturecast. Big thanks, as always, to Evoca for the intro-outro music for the Kulturecast. That song you're hearing is Lament, off of their self-titled first album. And Sean, I know Sean is a hungry artist who needs money, so if you want to help him be able to not have to go and write the adaptation of Adaptation, which is an adaptation about the Orchid thief, head on over to patreon.com/culture_shocked and kick a couple dollars our way so Sean does not starve at night.
Yeah.
Next week, we're nearing the home stretch of Nicolas Cage month.
Oh, so already.
We're going to be talking The Wicker Man and Joe.
I am so glad we're watching Wicker Man.
And if there's one thing I know about next week, it's going to be, not the bees! Not the bees! They won't bring back your goddamn honey or your crops or whatever the next line is.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
I am looking forward to it. So make sure to check out it.
Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.